AJ, what does AJ stand for?
AJ stands for Alan James.
Alan James, okay. And last name is?
Schwind, almost like the bicycle, take the last N off, put a D.
Put a D, Schwind. Okay, that's an interesting name.
Yes, sir.
Schwind.
It is German.
It's German? Okay, so it's Sven.
Okay.
That would be, that's what I would think anyway. Now, you're doing something really cool. It seems like a couple of years since we were trying to get you on the air.
Right.
And to talk a little bit about this. A&E, what does that stand for?
It stands for Alan and Emily. My wife is named Emily. And, funny thing is, our kids are going to be named after those initials. So
Cool.
Right now, we have a son. He just turned 1. His name is Easton.
Okay.
So hopefully next boy or girl, next boy would have an E name, and then next girl will have an A name.
So you're Alice, Abigail, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
A niece. That'd be a nice one. I like a niece.
Right?
Okay. So what you're doing is, it's more like a dream.
Yes, right now we're trying to help veterans, active military, and first responders by taking them hunting, fishing, and on nature walks. Because, at least from what I've seen, deer leases are hard to come by because a lot of them are being changed into urban subdivisions.
Right.
And if you find one, it's probably a good $3,000 per year to hunt year round on that lease.
Ouch.
And and sometimes the leases are owned by paper companies or timber companies. Well, they come in clear cut anytime they want, and that kind of ruins your hunting.
Right.
So
makes it easier to shoot, but it's
right.
Yeah.
And places that the fishing. Well, I mean, of course we got our lakes and everything. And we got our private parks and state parks and national forests, like the Sam Houston National Forest. Yeah. I mean, but I've seen over the time that those places are just kind of overran. And we're wanting to have a private place that's secluded for these individuals to use. And when we give these opportunities, it brings more clientele and gives us the opportunity not to only give them a place to relax and recuperate, but it also gives us a chance to share the gospel with them. Okay. So, because, we're in a hurting world right now, and we're going to seek and save the lost and be a refuge for those who need us and those who need to hear the gospel. Okay. So, we're trying to help these individuals, like I said, by offering hunting, fishing, and nature walks for veterans, active military, and first responders. And again, once we have the property that we would like to purchase, which is 690 acres in southeast Madison County, right off Beat Eyes Creek.
Okay.
It is currently owned by Wayne and Barbara Gillespie. It's a estate. So we're trying to have the opportunity to purchase that place.
Now,
and
are the Gillespies still with us?
The Gillespies have passed away, as far as I know of. I don't know who they are. I'm just getting this information.
It is their property that you're looking at.
Yes, it's for sale.
Property.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just found the information on the Madison County Appraisal District website.
Okay.
And so I would, as a school teacher, I would never be able to afford to buy that place myself.
And by the way, you are a school teacher in the Conroe School District?
Actually, in Humble ISD.
In Humble?
Yes.
Okay.
And I teach high school math, specifically Algebra 1.
Oh, good. I did okay in Algebra 1. Algebra 2, I failed out. But anyway.
Yeah, it's just, there's...
So where did this dream come from? How did this start?
Well, I was actually just looking on Realtor.com, because I just like looking at properties, and I saw that this place came up for sale, and I just was like, I wonder if I could get the have the opportunity to bring people in, whether it's in Texas or wherever, and give them the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors. And so I was like, well, I mean, I would never be able to afford this out of pocket, so let me talk to Mr. Alan Tinsley, who's an attorney here in town and also a Sam Houston alumni. So
yeah, we call him Dr. Law. I'm kidding.
So I talked to him and he said, well, let's make you a 501c3. Okay, and I heard of 501c3, but
really, what is a 501c3? So yeah,
501c3.
Or what did you say?
501c3.
Yes.
That's basically a nonprofit entity that is recognized by the federal government. So examples of 501c3s could be your church, could be the A&E Conservation.
Yeah, we have the Sunshine Center here. We have different organizations that do that.
Right.
So they don't pay taxes.
Correct, and you get a tax write-off at the end of the year. So at the end of the year, if you feel like you're going to have to pay too much in taxes, donate to a 501c3, specifically A&E Conservation Incorporated.
Okay, so how are you doing so far?
So far, COVID kind of hurt us a little bit.
Right.
And
you started this about the same time COVID hit.
Right. And so we're just kind of really got our foot in the door, and the IRS finally got our paperwork approved so we can continue to ask for donations and fulfill our mission, which is to provide active military, first responders, and veterans, as well as their families, a minimally restrictive environment to enjoy nature's beauty and bounty, and hunting, fishing, and nature walks to be provided.
And if you see his truck driving around, you can just take a picture of the side of his truck, and it's got one of those
QR codes on it.
QR code that you can actually make a donation through there.
Yes, that takes you to PayPal. And the vision is to offer a desirable benefit for all active military, first responders, veterans, and their families. And through you, our donors and partners, we hope to provide access to natural resources to thank the men and women who have given us so much.
Okay. Now, you were talking about incorporating the gospel into this. Do you have a plan how to do that?
Well, it starts off with a relationship first. You got to have a relationship with people.
Okay.
And as a school teacher, I've learned that people, the kids that you teach, they don't care how much they know, how much you know, until they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm.
So, being able to be with these individuals and get to know them on a personal level, and get to understand where they've come from and what's made them who they are today, will be a major plus. And then as we build that relationship, we can start sharing the gospel with them and giving them the opportunity to come to know Christ.
Okay, I like that idea. So first you have to get the property.
Correct.
And what was the cost on the property?
Right now it's listed at $2.2 million.
Okay, so if somebody wants to make an offer to them right now to get that property for you, they'd probably go down, $20, so a couple hundred at least.
I would hope. Rumor has it it would go for $2 million, but I don't know.
Okay, and that's a lot of money to raise.
It is.
What other ways you're reaching out?
Well, we're working on with Sam Houston State University. We have a professor there. He's a wildlife professor, and he teaches the wildlife management classes. He's helping us with offering the fishing.
Mm-hmm.
So at Gibbs Ranch, they're trying to help offer a big fishing opportunity in the springtime. So we're looking.
Some things are already starting.
Yes,
Okay,
and we've got these ideas in mind, and we're planning to pursue
Those
particularly.
will be fundraisers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, that'll be good.
Yes.
Get some fundraisers going and things like that. And of course, here on the radio, we'll get you to leave the information again and then make mentions of it. And of course, now it's the Longhorns, right?
Longhorns.
What's the team for the college you're involved with?
Oh, Sam Houston State University.
The
We're
Bearcats.
Bearcats.
Okay, Bearcats. So Bearcats usually give a lot more than Aggies do, right?
I hope so.
See, what I'm doing is throwing out a challenge.
Right?
Because there are a lot of Aggies out there.
Yes.
And I know Aggies can outgive
Yes.
Bearcats easily.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of just a challenge I'm throwing out there. And, maybe we get a competition. Maybe we get a football game or something going.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be fun. And it'd be a good fundraiser, too.
Right.
Because I know one day at the stadium they could raise $1 million, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Should be able to.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean,
so there's got to be other ways of contacting you. How do they get in contact with you to find out
well,
more?
first you can reach me on my cell phone at 936-520-4913.
Okay.
And notice me being a math teacher, the last 4 digits, 4913, 4 plus 9 equals 13.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So-
You're just a walking
Okay.
calculator, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
That's cool.
Okay.
And then
That helps you remember it too.
exactly.
Okay.
And then our email is A&E Conservation Inc. 2019 at gmail.com. And then our website is aeconservation.com. And you can find us on Facebook. Just type in A&E Conservation Inc.
And if you just want to come into the radio station, you can pick up one of the little cards to donate, take a picture of it, and go right to PayPal.
Correct.
And make your donation.
Exactly.
Easy to do. So you're really benefiting the veterans of the area and surrounding areas, and who knows from where.
Correct.
That they may come to spend some time there. The land is one thing, and then there'll be buildings that need to be built, and there'll be other things that need to be done to collect that. So the $2 million is a goal, but you're going to need probably twice that.
Right,
at
because we're just looking at the individuals with lost limbs, for instance.
Right.
We want to have a concrete path for them to take, to be able to take nature walks, and I mean they can use their wheelchair if they can walk on their prosthetic limbs. That's perfect, and we want to be able to have deer stands that are accessible by wheelchair. So of course that's going to take a lot of time and money as well.
And you must have done the math on this, so I'm sure you understand the cost of it and
Right.
the challenges that are going to be involved with this, and knowing that it's not a tomorrow project, it's going to be an ongoing project.
Absolutely, and that's why we just continuously ask for donations to help us get to where we need to be and get to where we can help those who have given us so much. I mean, because the freedoms that we have here and the opportunities that we have to just enjoy each day that we take for granted, basically.
Yeah. Given to us by God above and protected here by our soldiers.
Correct.
So we thank them. Our soldiers are everything to this country. We would not be who we are.
You're exactly
without
right.
the blood that was spilled by them.
Yes, sir.
All right. High school teacher. Exciting right there. What grade again do you teach?
I teach 9th grade Algebra 1. Yeah, it's interesting most days. Especially now that we've had the pandemic and everything. I've got some kids who haven't been in school maybe a whole year and a half, because about a year and a quarter.
Well, you come over here. We didn't miss a day, I don't think, or barely missed a day over here in Madisonville. So
Wow,
yeah, they did pretty good here.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and so the challenge is the kids the same when you started as they are now, pretty much.
It's I started 9 years ago, and kids are different. Yes,
Yeah,
It's over time. It's really a lot of apathy that kids have, and not much self-discipline.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard to do that and teach math at the same
They
time.
kind of need a little shot of Jesus to
Absolutely.
an understanding of the Bible.
Yes.
In order to follow that path, and that'll. It's.
And you know, the funny thing is, we give Bibles to prisoners. Well, I mean, can't we just give Bibles to kids in public schools?
Started out that way.
To start it out that way, so we can prevent prisoners.
Yeah, should be able to, but unfortunately, it's not the way it is right now.
Yeah.
So it's up to the churches and up to the parents and up to the people that really should have been doing it in the first place.
Correct.
To provide those Bibles and to provide those that information. I've actually talked to people in town. Yeah, you got a Bible at the house? No, really serious?
Wow.
But I grew up without a Bible in my house,
Right.
so I kind of understand. But not in Texas.
Yeah. Right.
Not in Texas.
Not
In
in the
Texas,
Bible
you got to have, everybody's got to have a Bible in Texas, or
Exactly.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
You got to have the new King James, the old King James, the old Nat Cole, and all that stuff.
ESV, the NIV. There's all kinds of versions out there.
So you got to have one of them. Anyway, AJ, really appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate you coming in. He can only come in when there's no school.
Exactly.
So-
That's why we're on Christmas break right now. So that's why I was able to come in and speak to Bill and Sharon about this organization.
Well, let me tell you, you need to contact us with any fundraisers that you get going.
Okay.
Okay? Let us know.
Okay,
Will
let us
do.
know that, and the next time that you have a week off, come on down. We'll get you in.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's A&E Conservation. You can phone him right now at 936-520-4913. Email at aeconservation2019@gmail.com. There is a website. If you just Google A&E Conservation, you'll find it. Same thing with Facebook.
The email is AE Conservation Inc. 2019
Inc.
at gmail.com.
Okay, Inc.
The INC.
Oh, okay. I can see it. Okay, yeah, if you did it the other way, you wouldn't get to it. AJ, thanks very much, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's at 8:27. We'll be back after this. Good job.
That was good. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for coming in. And
Appreciate
don't forget to email us or just give us a call and
Okay.
so we can announce fundraisers.
Sounds good.
Right, yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I thought it went well.
Yeah.
100 years in
It's-
Madison County. They have lenders ready to work with you.
It works.
Yeah.
Real estate next to Walmart.
Hopefully you'll get a couple of calls or get somebody that's-
Follow them on Facebook.
Interested in doing
It's time
something.
for